I'm Paulo Shakarian, CEO and co-founder of CyRating. Today we're going to continue our discussion on the F5 vulnerabilities we talked about last week. In particular, the CVE shown here in the CyRating user interface 2021-22986. So now it has a CyRating of 10.14, and if you remember last time in the blog it had a CyRating of 4. Well, let's see what happened. Over the course of the past week, it went from a 4 to a 4.2 to a 4.6 to a 10.1. Now, for those of you not familiar with CyRating, this is the machine learning prediction of how likely the vulnerability is to be exploited compared to average. So already when you're getting to a CyRating of say around 4, you're in roughly, the top 20-25% of vulnerabilities, and as it moves up to 10 it gets much more exclusive. The score goes up to 38.4, which is certainty of being exploited, or based on exploitation in the wild, confirmed with one of our sources. And so this is really progressed in a way toward exploitation. And in fact, when you look at the information the machine learning algorithm has gathered, so let's go back a couple days to the 18th, when we see the first bump. Now we're seeing availability of POCs. We start to see people scan for the vulnerability. And then as we go forward in time, we see attempts of the vulnerability being exploited on the 19th. And now we're starting to see on the 20th reports of full chain exploitation. So the CyRating scores already position this vulnerability toward the very top of the list. Unlike other scoring systems where the scores of the vulnerabilities are more evenly distributed, CyRating's scores are really a small number of them are at the higher end of the spectrum between say 10 and 40. It gets more rare as you get higher up in the scale. So what has happened here now is the score was dynamically updated based on this new information coming in that you saw here, and that's reflected in the score. This little flag that says new, that's an alert. So if I had an email alert set up either for this vulnerability, for a keyword relating to the vulnerability, or for software that the vulnerability affects, I would get an email alert or an alert in this dashboard. Now the thing about all this is NIST, and as you see in the NIST vulnerability description, still has not released an official description. It's still not even in the NVD yet, despite it being known for the last 10 days or so, and now having potential exploits out there. So this is a really nice use case of CyRating on how it helps get ahead of things. And we saw the evolution of this from last week prior to exploitation, how it already was assigning this particular vulnerability a very high score. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in learning more about CyRating or trying out our products, please contact us or visit our website at cyrating.ai. Thank you.